everybody, welcome back to the Vestibule of Heck podcast, Ep.4. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Mitchell.
Let's jump right into it. What did you do this week?
What did I do this week? I didn't do shit this week. I kind of took this week off.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's that time of year where you just kind of get lazy. Like, I had a bunch of stuff I was supposed to do this week, and I got it done in due time, but I just started rewatching through House again on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So that's been taking up like all of my time.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you need to watch that show.
I'll give it a shot. But it's not as if I wasn't doing anything. I still worked 40 hours. It's just I didn't do anything else.
Right. Well, it's getting cold. It's been rainy up where I am, and so I can't go out and skateboard. I can't go outside without it just turning into an icicle.
Not to be like this guy, small talk guy, but the weather, man. Did you know that it was 85 here the other day?
Oh yeah, listen. I mean, it was 80 something.
What
here,
is that bullshit?
High 70s.
It's the middle of October.
Well, it's global
warming. It could snow.
I'm sorry, what climate change?
It could snow tomorrow.
Oh, we're getting snow. We are getting snow this weekend, and I'm very butt-mad about it.
That would be a 4-day differential between 85 degrees and snow.
It's because we're gonna die.
Yeah, if only.
It's because the world is actually just spinning really fast, and so it's imagine a toilet bowl, but it's going outward. So we're getting really close to the sun, then really far away from it, at the same the next day.
Yeah, you know how I couldn't. How I couldn't think of any of the topics that I had collected during the week a little while ago. Mm-hmm. That was one of them.
That was the weather. Yeah. Living in some kind of upstate New York perpetual hell.
That's the one.
Yeah, for all of our viewers that aren't in the New York area or in upstate New York specifically, we experience all of the seasons in their most extreme forms.
And sometimes we experience all seasons in the course of 2 days.
The weather can be pretty wildly variant, like this week, and it was awful. But on the bright side, hey, Halloween's coming up.
Yeah, Halloween's coming up. A holiday that holds no more joy for me.
Oh my god!
It's just
you can still go trick or treating. People will probably just think you're a sex predator.
Well, that's a problem in and of itself, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you're not would you rather be a sex predator and have nobody know, or not be a sex predator?
That's the question right there.
And have everyone know.
That's a tough one. That's an unwinnable scenario.
Yeah, I mean that's I put a gun in my mouth. Third answer.
Yeah.
The always present, ever present third option of killing yourself.
It's true. Never recommended.
So
always
zero joy in Halloween.
What?
Zero?
Yeah, I really don't. I don't get anything from it. I still get that.
Carve pumpkins or
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Do
ketamine? And I love fall, but it's just a matter of I don't know. I still get that childlike sense of joy and wonder from Christmas time.
Oh yeah,
but I don't.
Yeah, the second December comes around, I get my advent calendar out. I'm like, ooh boy.
Yeah, it's something for some reason that I haven't lost connection with. But Halloween, I don't care.
I feel like probably around maybe I would say high school is when Halloween started kind of sucking. Because we went trick or treating our sophomore year in high school, and then we just didn't anymore.
Yeah.
We would still costume up, but we weren't huge partiers in high school, so we didn't get drunk.
No,
which is my favorite part about Halloween now. The parties are great.
Yeah, it's true. I think largely
I like themed parties. I think themed parties are just the best.
The theme is party.
Well, okay, but when it comes to holidays or birthdays,
yeah.
I like it when it has a consistent theme, aesthetically. Or I personally like doing party games still. Last year I did a Halloween party and we did bobbing for shots. Those prepackaged shots. Yeah. We put a bunch of those in a big tub of fucking water.
That's funny.
Yeah, and so we were like, how do we make this old thing adultified? And so of course just add alcohol. That's how you make everything an adult activity.
Yeah, you could have Razor Blade and the Milky Way roulette.
Ooh, you have 6 Milky Ways, and one of them definitely has a razor blade in it, and you just pick them, or you do the cup game where you shuffle them around.
Yeah, and you just gotta everybody takes theirs and puts the whole thing in their mouth.
And bite down real hard. and see if you got the razor blade. Did you know that that's actually never been like officially recorded as happening?
I'm certain. Do you know?
Yeah, it was a big hoax.
So stupid.
Right, and it was like just like all those like the poison candy and all that. Like it was all a big hoax. We were talking about it in one of my classes the other day. Because someone made the joke, and my professor was like, "Well, actually, that's never happened."
That guy.
So now I'm relaying. And do you know that never really happened?
Yeah, I think I was vaguely aware that never really happened. I feel like it's
what a horrendous asshole.
I feel like it's a topic that it inspires more people to do it because it became such a well-known thing.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, people are putting razor blades in their candy, and people hear that and like, that's a good fucking idea.
Yeah.
It's like the clown thing, which is kind of a ongoing cultural meme at this point.
Yeah.
Well, like, it started like, okay, how many people do you know that just say they're afraid of clowns?
I mean, a fair number. I would say a handful.
Yeah, but fucking clowns are not scary. I mean, yeah, there are scary clowns, but there's scary everything.
Yeah, I've never been. I could see how a clown would be unsettling. There's one clown that I've been afraid of, and it's my stepsister's. She has this like clown figurine thing, and it's got just
fuck that.
like
Dolls.
no eyes. There's like horrible dark gaping holes for eyes, and it's just a nightmare.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would someone? I've always liked clowns. Like I like the early like the 1900s or like late 1800s like Barnum and Bailey style. It's like the clowns are in like Dumbo.
Yeah, I have no qualm with clowns.
The Disney Dumbo. Yeah, good old Don
Well,
Bo.
it's Dumbo. It's the
Italian
It's the
Dumbo.
Netflix original ripoff.
Oh boy. Oh man, this wasn't on the to-do, but I had all my friends watch Disco Worms the other day.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. So for literally everyone who doesn't know, which is everyone, unless it's really popular in some parts of the country or the world that I'm just unaware of, Disco Worms is this. It's like a CG animated movie, like a Toy Story or any number of those.
In a way, like those.
In a way, it is animated on a computer, and that's the only similarity because it's a movie about worms who are in society. The worms are seen as like the lower class, like pencil pusher. Like, no worm would ever amount to anything. And so, of course, as one does, they start a disco band.
Yeah, as one does.
I mean, when I felt like I'm feeling down and out, I'm like, oh, you know what? Society's putting me down. Fucking disco time.
That's how we're going to take out the bourgeoisie.
With disco?
With disco.
See, the punk kids have had it all wrong. Like, you got, like, your punk movement. No. The real anti-society movement is disco.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like some kind of like horrible postmodern parody of society.
Yeah, I mean, well, in my experience, there's no quicker way to bother the people than with disco.
Yeah, people have this really, like clowns, irrational dislike of disco.
Yeah,
I mean, I get that it's kind of like boring, like dance music, but some music can just be boring.
Well, yeah, and I mean, also that's
okay.
like your stereotypical disco. The disco umbrella is a little bit broader than people give it credit for.
Oh yeah, because it includes like funk and it includes like some rock and disco is like techno even.
Yeah,
if you want to go that far, synthetic.
Yeah, so it was the pop music of its day, but it's my favorite pop music ever.
Yeah, I think it just has that kind of staying power, where you don't need to be actively listening to it. Like it can just be on in the background, and
yeah, it's just
you can still, or you can listen to it actively.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's good noise.
I just speaking of noises, let's talk about oh wait, before we get to that, go watch Disco Worms. You can find it online. I think it's on YouTube. Looking for Disco Worms. It might be under a different name that I can't remember, but you'll know it when you see it. It is great.
Great.
All my friends were commenting that they never had an hour and a half feel more like 4 hours in their entire life. Like they were at the end, they're like, "Why did you do that to us?" And one of my roommates looked at me. He's like, "You've created a time machine, the worst kind of time machine that makes time go by slower."
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So
go watch Disco Worms.
It is that
go find
sort
it.
of movie, though.
It used to be in the red boxes. That's where we found it. really offhand. We just like we were gonna get a movie from the Redbox, or were we even going to? What? How did we even come into getting Disco Worms?
I don't know.
If it was like in a Redbox outside of like a Walgreens or something.
Yeah, or maybe the one that was at like the Hannaford that's right across from where we grew up.
Oh yeah, right in the grocery store. And we were looking at movies and we're like, all right, and then we just kind of you see it because you see all like the Chopkick Pandas and the Kiara the Brave, all those like Pixar knockoffs. Anytime a big Pixar movie comes out, there's some other company makes like a significantly worse version of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh boy, what the hell is that? And because it looks great, it is a tour de force of visual and audio, and it's wonderful.
It truly, it belongs in the Louvre.
I get rid of the Mona Lisa, and replace it with a LCD screen that only plays Disco Worms.
Yeah, that's a rational and realistic thing to do.
And anytime someone walks up to watch it, they have to put on like an afro wig, and like those big, those sunglasses that look like stars and they're purple, like that.
The stereotypical disco character, the bell-bottomed, bedazzled pants.
Yep, yeah. The full blown, just maybe put on some roller skates, get some roller disco in there. What a phenomenon! I know we're talking a lot about disco. This is the disco podcast now, the Vestibule of Disco. Or the dance floor of Heck.
I'd be all about that.
We'll workshop that. We'll make another podcast. We'll have two congruent podcasts
with the same cast of people, the same two people.
I follow some podcasts that do that, where it's like the same like 2 or 3 people like in different combinations doing stuff.
I hate that. It needs.
I like it because for me it like builds a universe.
Well, sure. But we're entirely unstructured on this podcast, so we can talk about whatever we want. Mm-hmm. So why make another podcast that's just us but only talking about one thing?
Well, what if we want to just hyper focus on the one thing? Because like I think like Vestibule of Heck is like, it's very much like a potpourri kind of
insofar as it belongs in a bathroom. Yes.
Right. It's near poop. Near where you poop.
Poop adjacent.
It needs to be adjacent to literal human poop. It's kind of like a little tasting tray. Like, hey, I think they call those like an appetizer tray, where it's like, here's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, here's our weekly inside baseball segment then, right?
Yeah.
So what we would do then is we wouldn't make a series of videos. We just make one, or audio recordings or what have you. Just make one.
Well, I find that just like do one like an off, like a spin-off where it's
if we decided that
dance floor of Heck.
If you and I decided that for whatever stupid reason we had enough content to fill 30 minutes of just disco talk, then
no, we could pick an album from like a really popular like disco era band. Like you could be like Earth, Wind and Fire, or like a Chicago disco.
I don't know, maybe.
They're kind of disco-y. But I guess Earth, Wind and Fire. Take like one of their albums and just, talk about it. Talk about the whole album.
God, that would be just...
Talk about remembering the 21st night of September.
So, here's the thing about that. I don't want to hear my music takes.
Okay.
So I can't even imagine anybody else.
Could you be a little more specific?
I just don't know anything about music, so it'd just be like,
okay.
I like this one.
That sounded good. Hey, I like it when that thing it did.
Yeah,
after
the
words
horn,
part.
the one that went like doot doot, and that one.
I want to find the Earth, Wind and Fire song that goes doot doot. And it's gonna be the new intro for the podcast, or for that podcast. See, it's already workshopping itself.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Ideas come out and they just keep going.
It's gonna be great.
Oh man! Speaking of things that are great, abuse, spousal abuse.
Wow.
I didn't know how to segue into this.
Okay, see, this is, here's our weekly Shock Jock radio segment. Yeah. So what would have been great is we need like sounders to fall back on for when we don't know what to do. Like,
is that it? We need to do like weekly things that are like, oh no, there's the football bell, ding a ling a ling a ling.
Yeah, that.
That no. Also, maybe.
Come on, Shock Jock Radio. We've been talking about this for weeks.
Time for. Oh no, it's disco time. Doot doot and like.
See, I already provided one of the sounders. We're good.
We're got ding ling ling and doot doot, and it'll be this must be wonderful to listen to.
It's not.
So on Josh Brown, the Josh Brown abuse case, going to something a little more serious. The New York Giants kicker Josh Brown was just put on the commissioner's exempt list as league investigators go through a trove of newly released documents in which the player admitted to abusing his then-wife, Molly Brown. Would you like to tell the audience what these newly released documents were?
Yeah, as far as I've heard, they were from his personal journal, like something he thought wasn't ever going to see the light of day. And it was him talking about a lot of self-reflective stuff that you wouldn't typically find, honestly. It's pretty, like, it makes him sound like intelligent and self-reflective, and it's odd to see that in somebody who's done something so terrible.
Right, and it's odd to see that in general. I feel like a lot of those type of personal journals or manifestos, I'm not even going to call it a manifesto even, because it wasn't meant for public consumption. This was something that he did entirely, and I'm not going to get all conspiracy theory, like he made it so just in case they found it. But, I mean, hey, what if? I think this kind of self-reflective, very personal work. I mean, I keep a journal. I don't think I would ever want anyone to read it unless I got really, really rich and popular and then I could sell it.
But so then for you, it's therapeutic to write these things down, yes?
Oh, exactly. Like, I at the end of the week, or like, whenever I'm feeling like I need to just like work something out in my head that I can't just work out typically, I'll bring it out. I got, let's say, like a special pen. It's got like its own little like lock on it. It's got some Lisa Frank stickers on it, and I just it actually doesn't have any Lisa Frank stickers. It's Transformers, okay?
Yeah, no,
I'm cool. Okay,
I'm a man,
Dad. Football, and so yeah, it's something that was never supposed to get out, and it's very personal, but also very important because he was charged with what, 4th degree assault?
It was like 4 counts of something that you said.
Yeah. It was just, it's an odd thing, right? Because first of all, he's a kicker. And this is something I want to talk about in sports in general. I feel like this would be blowing up a lot more. Like it might be like a national headline if it was a quarterback.
Well, yeah. Well, even if you look at Ray Rice and Greg Hardy, who both have since been basically blackballed from the league. They were national stories for a long time, months in one case, and they weren't the biggest stars. They weren't quarterbacks. They weren't the big name on even their own team, but they were good, and they were, positions of fame. A running back, like a key running back, and a pass rusher are things that are both popular now.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to talk about, kind of the hierarchy of positions in sports. I played a lot of football, played a lot of baseball. So in football, I was a right guard. Sometimes a right tackle, depending on like who was there. But I was primarily on the offensive and defensive line. And so we never got any kind of praise.
No, fat boys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fat boys represent. Like you were meat to be in the way, so the quarterback didn't get hit. That was your job. Your job was to open up holes for running plays and stop big mongoloid kids from killing.
And what's funny to me though is maybe not so much at the whatever Pop Warner or youth level, but in college, probably high school, but definitely college in the NFL, the offensive line is one of the most complex and important positions. Like, your left guard is somebody that's incredibly vital, but the public doesn't quite understand that, so they just look at the skill position, or quote unquote skill position players.
They follow the position players that the camera follows, and I mean that's the thing with like sports, like watching sports on TV or like on like a stream or something. The camera follows the ball, right? But that's not always where the most important stuff is going on. Like imagine like you're going downfield, right, and you get in the way of someone who's trying to intercept the pass. The camera's going to follow the ball. They're not going to show your off-screen play where you completely saved the entire game.
Yeah, and it's also a matter of even when the important stuff is being done by somebody on the line, you're looking at the quarterback or you're looking at receivers because that's where the ball is. The fact that they never handle the ball is, I think, the problem.
Yeah, because I think people, and especially I feel like a lot, it's mostly fans that never really played or don't really understand, or they enjoy it on a very surface level, which is totally fine. I love it when people just enjoy things and they don't have to get all like intense about it, because I am incapable of not feeling intense feelings about all things. If I like something new happens, I have to learn everything about it, or I can't sleep. I need to know things. And so I appreciate people who like it on a casual level. But it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks for all the other players. I mean, obviously they're not playing just for fame and fortune. Maybe they are. We'll never know.
But even if they are, even if they are, though, they still get. You're not going to be an offensive lineman looking for fame. You can be an offensive lineman looking for money, because there are still some big contracts out there because the teams know how important they are. Because
exactly,
even if
I think that's,
even if the audience doesn't appreciate the finesse of any given sport or athletic event, even if the public doesn't understand the finesse, the people that matter do.
Right, the people who are signing their paychecks understand.
Yeah, the people that are handing out endorsements and the people that are giving contracts and signing new players, they all understand that what you did when you blocked that guy on that play was, that's impressive, because I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah, and that's really, it's something. It's like, it's one of those things that's like a necessary evil in televised sports. In any kind of sporting event that's not done behind closed doors, which would be weird.
Cockfighting.
Or that one scene from, oh my god, what's the Requiem for a Dream? Mm-hmm. The sport in that movie. Yeah. good old ass to ass. If you've never seen Requiem for a Dream, this is just like the I'm recommending movies podcast, I guess now, which will be the third podcast we put out. It'll be Movie Theater of Heck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or
great.
like Viewing Room of Heck.
Yeah. When are we gonna start doing those movie reviews?
Oh boy.
You say that because we will at some point.
Oh, eventually. I'm waiting for something. I don't know if I want to do like a new movie, because I mean I love film. I love the medium. I love I did some work in high school and also in my associates for college. Did some work with people who are like film majors and stuff like that, and I love it. It's so cool and fun. But I don't know how I would really go about it. Would I do like an old movie? Would I wait, like get all clickbaity and be like 10 reasons why Kings of Egypt is the worst movie on the planet, I don't know. It's something that I'd like to work in because I think that's important. But,
yeah, I mean, film is important. So, I mean,
right, and especially on the internet where it's just like an area controlled entirely by entertainment.
Well, that's also why we were having that conversation about like doing any video game content. I don't think we should ignore anything that's big and important in pop culture.
Yeah, and like when you were explaining it, I'm like, fucking video games. Like I want to make it abundantly clear. I don't dislike video games. I just dislike 99% of video game related content.
Well, yeah, because a lot of it ends up being, let's play this game that's an early alpha and doesn't work because it's what's currently popular and I got to get to it before everybody else.
Right, and it's that very much. It's like a lot of it is fueled by I got to do it now while it's hot.
Yeah,
and I think it works for if that's what you want to do, but because of how I feel Heck works, it's not necessarily beneficial.
No.
However,
but
putting our own spin on it is what will make it important, and that's something we talked about. When you think you're doing something uncreative or you think you're doing something that's not necessarily the most original thing, make it your own thing. Everyone can bring something new to the table, and I think that's something that I've come to terms with for Heck Media. So on the horizon, video game stuff.
Well, yeah, because any video game content online that I enjoy is always more about the content than about the game. It's about the commentary or the game being played within the game or the interactions between people. So I like Achievement Hunter and I like a couple of different streamers because it's not about playing the most current game. It's just about the commentary, the jokes, and the fun.
Right, and I think that's something we need to bring, the fun, because it's video games. I mean, it's fun.
And also,
it's supposed to be
I feel
fun.
like our audience needs a little bit more fun. since most of the time we're kind of
gas
bags and downers.
Yeah, well, I mean, oh man, good segue into my article this week. Thank you. It is titled "Supernatural, Sonder, Protagonist Disease, and the Occult," which is a lot of words.
It also
for a title.
It also sounds. I'm gonna let the audience know. Sounds a lot more fun than it is.
Yeah. Oh man, it is. It sounds like a blast. Like, oh boy, supernatural things, the occult, protagonist, disease. Like, it's got a lot of words. But the essence of the article boils down to you're not special. Stop it.
Yeah. So if you want to have a good day,
if you want to have a good day, don't read it.
Yeah.
So I was looking up. I was doing a little research. I'm interested in a lot of like the paranormal, occulty stuff. Less so like, like witches, wizards. Like, I'm not looking to shoot magic out of my butt, or maybe I am.
I mean, why would you not?
Tune in for Vestibule of Heck after dark.
Given the opportunity, you wouldn't turn it down. It's just not what you're looking for.
Right. I'm not actively, what I'm interested in is more paranormally, ghosts, aliens, reptiles that run the government. And there's something I noticed, demons and all that. I think it's neat, especially when you get into like the theological aspect and stuff like that, like Eastern religion, Western religion. But something I've noticed is that humans, and this is in all things, but especially this, I think, we kind of put ourselves on this pedestal, right? We think, oh, there's a demon coming to attack me, like it gives a shit about you.
So it's really an argument of scale.
Yeah, exactly. It's an argument of scale and perspective, where it's like, hey, do you really think let's assume there's like some kind of trans-dimensional being?
So we could just take the thesis of this and extrapolate it out to nothing matters.
Yeah, literally, you don't matter.
Like, you're so small and insignificant. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and which is accurate.
Yeah, largely. I mean, on a scale level, yeah, that's kind of how that works.
Yeah, and I want to take a direct quote from my article, and this is on what we were just talking about, and I quote, "That doesn't mean that you don't matter in relative ways. Just make sure to remember the context in which you operate. Keep yourself in perspective and understand the world around you objectively, not subjectively."
Yeah, that's pretty much right. That in my opinion.
Yeah, and my favorite is anytime, and maybe this is a more niche internet community thing, anytime someone tries to summon a demon to have sex with it. Like,
I don't know that I've ever run into that one.
Oh golly, it is a thing on some of the more esoteric sites that I frequent. You'll find these it's dudes. I haven't seen a girl do it yet. I mean, I'm sure there is somewhere. From what I've seen, just dudes who are like, so how do I summon a succubus?
I just
what? Like, first of all, you have zero understanding of what a succubus actually does.
Well, I mean, actually, again, given the opportunity, given my two overlapping desires in life, which is to have sex and to die, I might be interested in a succubus.
my two hobbies, like, I think, and it's like I said, it's these guys who are like, so gotta get my dick wet this week. What do you guys do about succubi?
I like the idea of, instead of like dialing up a back page hooker, you're summoning demons.
Summon a demon. That's what I said. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, first of all, Tinder is free. It's not that hard to go just get laid. It's not. I mean,
well, also, if you're gonna, that's why I made it more akin to prostitution, because if you're gonna go through the trouble of summoning a demon, you probably have just enough money to go pay somebody to have sex with you, you idiot.
Or like go somewhere where it might be legal, like go to like certain areas in Nevada where you can just do that.
God damn, you don't need to be a wizard. This is a normal problem to have.
I know, it's like you need, like, the whole thing is like, I need to be a wizard so I can get laid.
That says a lot about that person.
I know, right? That's such like a, like, look at this like little example from their life. This is how they exist. Like, this person is day to day like The only reason I don't get laid is because I can't do magic. The only reason I don't get laid is because I can't summon a demon.
Same though.
Yeah. It's just
Do
so
you know
ridiculous.
how much puss I could parlay into with magic?
I mean, okay, sure.
I could parlay magic into so much puss.
Which is parlaying into puss is the name of this episode. I want to just.
I'm honored. Thank you.
I'll don't worry. I'll attribute it to you. I'll make sure it's well cited. Oh my god! And it's just so I put this out because once again, Halloween, October, spooky month. I feel like people kind of get more in touch with their spooky side during this month. You hear people talking, like people who would never really talk about ghosts and stuff, kind of be like, "Oh man, what if though? What if ghosts?"
Yeah.
And there's a lot of myths. There's a lot of myth going on. I like with the clowns. That's like new modern myth, or it might just be a stupid trend. I hope it's something serious. Like I hope it's a big thing. Like hope there's like a big cult.
Yeah, I hope something comes out of this because it's been such a roller coaster of it's all going up right now and there's nowhere for it to go but down.
Right, like we're suddenly going to be disappointed unless it becomes like a big there has been a clown cult waiting in the woods for fucking 20 years.
God, you know how much we know what I would give for that to be the case.
I would summon a succubus. That's what I would give for it.
I root for interesting in all things.
Right, and it's just oh my god, it would the whole world would just be turned upside down. Boy, segue. Speaking of the whole world being turned upside down, tell me about some dinosaur facts.
Oh,
tell me a dinosaur fact.
I knew that's where you're going. Your transitions lacking today.
They're only lacking because you know where we're going.
Well,
I want to talk about this so bad.
I mean, what was the other one that was just a train? Oh, yeah, you said what's interesting.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
What's interesting? Spousal abuse. Whoops.
Yeah,
don't
worry, what really
I'll
gets me out of bed in the morning?
My husband throwing me out of it.
So, yeah, dinosaurs. I learned this week that dinosaurs are very closely related to birds of the modern era.
So yeah, it's like they would have feathers and not.
Well, yeah.
I feel like this is a thing that's been around.
Yeah, and so
but also, more importantly,
and so crocodiles and alligators and birds are the only things left that are super closely related to dinosaurs. So it's been recently found based on evidence to do with body structure and they did calculations on the likelihood that one animal would make sounds closely related to its most close genetic relative, and they found that dinosaurs most likely cooed or quacked instead of roared.
I just want to take. We mentioned this. Or I mentioned this earlier to you before we started recording. I want to take Jurassic Park and edit it for historical accuracy.
So the big T-Rex just leans down to roar at him, and instead it's just
it's just don't move. They can only see if you move. What the fuck? But unfortunately,
alas,
you destroyed my hopes and dreams with this.
After a short couple of minutes of beautiful blissful ignorance, just thinking that a duck and a Tyrannosaurus Rex sounded identical. No, apparently, T-Rexes or big carnivore dinosaurs like T-Rexes would make sounds more closely related to the other side, alligators, crocodiles, which apparently, and this is also new information to me, they don't open their mouth to make sound. They don't need to. They can produce sound without opening their mouth. And it's a big guttural, boom or a whoomph.
See, I didn't know about that either because, how many fucking alligators have I ever been
Yeah,
around?
exactly.
Yeah, and fun fact, we don't have a lot of alligators in New York.
No, they don't do too well over the winter.
Yeah, I didn't. That's still horrifying. I imagine it would be a big bass speaker in a really big, maybe a Hummer.
Yeah, that's the person that I heard. equated it to a like big like walk-in freezer or fridge door closing.
Ugh.
Like when the suction hits and it's like...
That's scary.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No. I imagine...
It would be like a sustained
horrible.
noise, too. Like, it wouldn't be so quick. It'd be like...
Well, it would be those booms, because that's all they can do is they can project it.
Good God.
But instead of like a roar in your face, it'd be like a boom from a half a mile away as it starts coming towards you.
It would almost be like thunder.
Yeah.
Oh my, thunder lizards. It's all coming back. But they're more like thunder birds. Technically.
Oh, and then here's the other thing that's interesting. Pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs.
What?
Yeah, apparently. There's like
says who?
It says all the dinosaur people, man.
You talked to Steven Spielberg about that bullshit.
I actually heard interviews from 2 different dinosaur people that both said the same thing.
Damn.
Yeah, they were... Apparently there's different... I don't remember the Latin for it, but there's like the overarching subset of animals that was dinosaurs was like... Or that we think of as dinosaurs was called
like genus and
it was
species.
called like ruling lizards. It's in Latin.
Mm.
But there's like 4 or 5 subsects of that, and one subsect is like dinosaurs as they actually are, you know, your T-Rex and your, you know, Stegosaurus. And then you have another one that were like pterodons, and that's what pterodactyls were.
Why does science have to make everything so not fun?
Well, you know.
Like, they're dinosaurs, but now you have to put like 10 different air quotes around dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like, because it's kind of like a big, like, that's the umbrella now. Like, fuck it. No, they're all dinosaurs. They don't have feathers. And they fucking, now they coo.
They coo.
Like a dove.
Yeah, so what that does mean, though, is that another dinosaur that's thought of as terrifying, the velociraptor, would have sounded like a nice bird.
It would sound like a... it sounded like a fucking pigeon. And it would look like a big fucking colorful pigeon. Yeah. It would be goofy looking.
Dinosaurs are closer to Big Bird than really what we would have initially thought.
So what you're saying is there's some kind of horrible Sesame Street conspiracy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
They knew. They knew long ago.
Let's dig a little deeper. I'm just... the older I get and the more things that happen, the more I wish I just didn't know about them. Like... When this happens, it's like, oh, come on. Like, that was like a thing I didn't know I liked. And now it's just gone forever.
Well, yeah.
Like, it was just like a part of my, you know, like growing up, I mean, my brother is a giant Jurassic Park fan. And so, like, we watched those movies all the time when I was younger. And now it's like, I watched them. And like after I heard about like the feathers thing a couple of years ago, and they were like, oh, dinosaurs have feathers because, you know, they're birds. And like, well, okay, that makes sense. And then I looked at the velociraptors. I'm like, now they're just movie monsters.
Yeah, and now they, in real life, they were just big old sharp-toothed ducks.
Wow. Dinosaurs got lame. Like,
I mean, in a way, dinosaurs can still be cool.
As long as you just keep them in the movies and never think about what actually is true.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's the whole point of movies, though, isn't it?
Jurassic World was good.
Oh, I mean, Jurassic World was tight. I mean... You know, when did that come out? It came out like a year ago now?
Oh, it's more than that. It's got to be.
Really? God damn it. Time just goes.
Because what year did
lose time.
So what year did Guardians of the Galaxy come out?
That came out before Jurassic World for sure. I want to say 2013.
Yeah, I know, but I think Jurassic World came out the year after that because that's when everybody fell in love with Chris Pratt.
Oh my God, you're right. That sucks. Everything's old and dinosaurs suck. And football players hit their wives.
Yeah.
And
it's not great. It's not great what we're going through.
But you know what is great? Spousal abuse. No, so after October is November, as we all know. This typically happens every year.
Fucking way.
This is a Heck Media exclusive. Like, we're
breaking
dropping bombs
news
today.
Breaking news, everyone. I'm proud to bring you Heck Media's first and probably only breaking news. We're the first people to share this information.
I mean, go find another podcast that says exactly November is after October. You won't find it. You might find it. I don't care if you find it.
They'll probably find it. Well, they won't find it. They could. It's not. It's
so
not as
rev
if we
up
have
whatever
a.
you.
It's not as if we have a rabid fan base just waiting to prove us wrong.
We have what the hell's that guy's from last week? Johnny
Calcorn. My
Fucking
nemesis.
Calcorn. No comment. He hasn't been. He hasn't replied to my reply to his comment. I haven't got any emails.
Damn it.
I sent him an email.
Yeah, didn't we want him to join us on the podcast?
Either
So
that or I wanted
live?
to do Johnny Calcorn on the block, which is another new podcast, the Block of Heck,
featuring Johnny Calcorn,
starring, if we can get him on the team. But anyway, so November, great month because of a little activity called NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing Month.
Which is a convention for tiny poetry.
It nano, very small.
NaNoWriMo.
Right, yeah, nano. It sounds like a terrible spell that they would use in a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
It is a mid-'80s Intellivision game.
It is good old NaNoWriMo for the Intellivision. So basically the concept is, it's pretty self-explanatory. In the month of November, you're supposed to start and finish a novel. The start part is not necessarily necessary. If you have something you're already working on, you can do that. But
you can cheat.
You can cheat. You can cheese the system. I really like NaNoWriMo because it gets people motivated to actually write. Even though a lot of what comes out of NaNoWriMo is not very good, that's not the point.
My favorite part of NaNoWriMo is the fact that it makes everybody get things done. Repercussions at the end if you don't finish your novel. They'll contact your ISP and have you cut off, or they'll
swat you.
Yeah, or they'll swat you, or they'll you can choose the physical challenge and they'll just hook up your nipples to a car battery.
Dare? Wait,
Yeah,
hang on. You get to choose the physical challenge. Can you imagine the police come and you're you're under arrest? Be like, double dare. And then they double dare you back and they're like, physical challenge. And then they do what? They wire you up to a car battery by the nipples?
Yes. That's the
Doesn't that kill the shit out of you?
Yeah, probably not. It'll probably run through. It'll
Cool.
create a circuit. It's fine.
We'll find out.
Yeah, next week on the Vestibule of Heck podcast, we find out if that'll kill you or not.
Wacky challenges week.
I actually do want to do content like that because everybody loves watching people do things they don't want to do.
I'm totally okay with that because I'm a big fan of Jackass kind of fucking Can't Kill Yourself. Sons of Poseidon.
I told you about the Grid of Death on my favorite show, my inspiration, the Dan Le Batard show on ESPN Radio.
The good old Le Batard show. I love the Le Batard show.
You
got me into it and I can't stop.
Yeah, for the listener, they have it's sports radio sans sports radio, but they have a weekly thing during the NFL season where they pull a helmet out of a bucket, and if the team on the helmet loses, they have to perform a challenge off of a grid of challenges. And one of them last week was to eat an entire raw onion.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And he vomited on air. It's great.
Didn't he have to go to the hospital?
Apparently it wasn't related to the onion, unfortunately.
Oh, it was. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now I feel sad for laughing at it.
Well, I still don't. They still are.
But yeah, back on NaNoWriMo. You can actually go to they had a because it kind of started when we were probably in late middle school, early high school.
I would have no way of pinpointing but that sounds right.
Yeah, at least it started gaining some traction then. I participated in it one year. I wrote some genre fiction garbage. Probably protagonist that was down and out but had a heart of gold kind of bullshit. And you can go on their site.
It's a tried and true formula.
It is. It's tried and true, just like how everybody poops and everybody dies and you have to pay taxes. So it's NaNoWriMo.com. Let me spell that. NaNoWriMo.com. You can sign up for an account. It's free.
Type in Heck Media at checkout for 10% off your.
If you put in the coupon code Heck, you'll get a free fake turd from Spencer's emailed to you, a picture of it, us having fun with it, a picture of us having fun with fake poop.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I want to point out this point that we are definitely actually associated with NaNoWriMo.com. But interesting thing, they sell merchandise on their store, which obviously they have. They're funded by grants.
Where's our cut?
They've been right, and that's what I'm wondering. Why didn't they tell us that? Why didn't we get in this? I'm really excited. I'm going to be working on a novel. I actually haven't started yet. It's been an idea I've been kicking around specifically for NaNoWriMo. It's really stupid and complicated, and I don't really want to go over it. Yeah, yes, I do. Awesome. Fuck it. So what I'm going to do... yeah, exactly. Get ready for the I'm pitching you my stupid novel podcast. It's essentially... Did the mic pick that up? Yeah, the sigh, the audible sigh, yes. I heard you sigh. I'll give you the quick, like, less than 30-second version. I'm taking Pale Fire by Nabokov, and I'm doing my own version of Pale Fire, similarly to how he deconstructed and reconstructed the poem himself. If you don't know who Vladimir Nabokov is, read a book.
I don't.
He's good. A postmodern writer. Not super popular, but I think he's great. But it's going to be real fun. I'm basically just stealing his idea and doing it over, but funnier and postmodern-y, like he did. Postmodernism is just a big circle jerk of everyone being ironic, shitty, and funny.
Everything is postmodern at some point. Depends on when modern is.
Well, postmodernism isn't really a time period in literature. It's more of a... that was a hot take. Yeah. That was a good meme.
Yeah.
I get it. Good meme.
Damn you. Undercutting me. You and Johnny Calcorn, I'll have both your heads.
You're gonna have like some pikes and put them in your yard and put our fucking skulls on it.
It's gonna happen.
This is what happens if you fucking lampoon my shit. Damn you, Calcorn.
You don't pay me. The least you can do is appreciate me.
I really hope he emails me back.
I can't believe he hasn't. He was so passionate.
I know, rap isn't music. Like,
I wanted to get his hot takes on what is music.
I know, Johnny Calcorn, accomplished musician.
Oh, he needs to be on our disco podcast.
Oh my god. Well, what if he doesn't think disco is music? I mean, he just said rap is music. We didn't ask him about anything else.
He could feature.
I'm just going to ask him if things are music. I'm going to send him like a list of things and be like, hey, I want to do a 4 profiles on you, professional internet jackass. Can you answer me these questions? Like, yeah.
We don't know anything about this man.
Is this music? And I'll send him a picture of a ukulele. Like, is this music? And then be like, is this music? And I'll just send him a sound file of me farting into my microphone.
I almost feel bad for our boy Calcorn. We know nothing about him.
I'm sure he's a real stand-up guy who
just lit him up for 2 weeks in a row.
I think every week we should have news and Johnny Calcorn.
I mean, if you would email us
Calcorn of Heck podcast. I know. I'll keep a running open dialogue with him, and every week I'll update on what's going on. I'll email him once a week. I don't give a shit. What's he gonna do? Fucking call the police? Like, this guy won't stop emailing me about being on his show. Like, that's not really illegal. Could you imagine though if we get it going so far that we get a fucking restraining order?
Oh yeah, that would be good content.
The restraining order would be our new banner on the site. It would be the new banner on the Facebook page. Oh, speaking of social media, I'm finally ready to roll out our Twitter.
Oh, are you actually?
Yeah, we should do that because it's just been sitting in an open tab.
I think we said we were gonna put out the Twitter after the first podcast.
I think we did also. Let's finally do that.
Isn't this our month-iversary?
This is our month-iversary also. Month-iversary. First month of Heck Media. And I think I just want to take like the end of the podcast here. We're running up on time soon. But how do you think it's been going for the first month?
I'm pretty happy with it. I'm surprised at the amount of growth and general interest that we've maintained. I'm happy we've gotten a couple of new types of stuff out there. We got the podcast going pretty strong, and we got the performer profile, our first foray into, linking audio content. And that was more successful than I could have imagined. So I'm, all in all, pretty happy.
Yeah, we're at our Facebook page. We're just about to hit 200 likes, which is awesome. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it means a lot, and I think it's awesome. So I wanted to thank all 20 people who watched the podcast. Though, actually, hang on. Update. When I say update, I mean, this is just a thing I was going to say anyways.
Oh, wait, hold on. Breaking news. Heck Media's second, and surprisingly not the last. Breaking news. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, breaking news. We've actually been having pretty steady increase in viewership of the podcast.
That's weird.
Yeah, people are starting to actually listen, and I hope it's Johnny Calcorn on 7 different accounts. Just,
Make my dreams
like,
come true, Johnny
fuckers.
Calcorn. Make my dreams come true.
Johnny, help. Johnny, please.
All right, here.
Yeah,
How's this? If Johnny's listening to the podcast,
fucking
if you email us back, heckmedia@gmail.com, in case you already deleted it.
Good show.
If you just email us back, I'll send you a shirt. It doesn't have to be related to our show, but I'll send you a brand new custom made shirt of something that I make on a website and send to you.
We could make him a Heck Media shirt,
or I could just make
a
him
better
a meme
idea.
shirt. It's fine.
Oh, we're only gonna send it only if, and you need to take pictures and send it to us. You can blur your face, I don't care, but we need proof that you're wearing it.
So email
That
us
is
back,
a
Johnny
necessity.
Calcorn, heckmedia@gmail.com. I'll buy you a shirt. We'll have you on the podcast. It'll be great.
I love this. Thing about Heck that I love is that we are hitting this multimedia kind of thing because we've officially had interaction with our audience.
Yeah.
And now
one
he's
guy.
become a meme. We did
Yeah,
it.
well, that's the brand.
Well, fun fact: language. When you're defining what a language is, it's any kind of communication between two people. We're creating a little microcosm language right now.
Yeah.
Talking about we're creating lore.
Heck Media Ease.
Heck, and I think Heck Media has been going awesome. I'm impressed with the movement we've gotten. We got some cool stuff coming up on the docket. I mean, we got some more profiles coming up, hopefully. Because that took off like a rocket.
Yes.
That did really well.
Yeah, my baby is growing.
Exactly. Now it's gonna fucking tell you it hates you when it's 15.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna steal some cigarettes out of your fucking wallet because you keep cigarettes in your wallet, I guess.
So
you're a serial
real
killer.
quick before we wrap it up here, I just want to shout out the art gallery again. We are still working on it, just waiting on more submissions. I've had actually a couple come into my personal accounts through friends and family. So look forward to that. If anybody has anything that they'd like featured, reach out, because I know we have some new people. We'll probably make another post soon, because I know we got some new creative types on the Facebook. So thank you, everybody, and keep that in mind. It'll just get done when it gets done.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the cool thing. Like, if you're still working on something, there's time. Like, don't feel like you need to rush it. So yeah, contact us on Facebook, facebook.com/heckmedia. Email us, heckmedia@gmail.com. Tweet us, because we'll start doing that, I guess.
Yeah.
At heckmedia. Because luckily, what I did, the second I came up with the name, I took all the domains. I bought the website, I bought the domain name, and I bought fucking everything. I'm like, I registered stuff like the YouTube, youtube.com/heckmedia. Because a lot of sites will start up and they don't do it quick enough, and then they have to buy the domains and the accounts from people.
We don't have that kind of money.
Luckily we got like a month and a half before our yearly budget rolls over.
Yeah, but didn't we?
It'll only be like 40 in the black.
In the black is good. It's in the red.
Oh, I'm sorry, in the red. How strange, black and red.
Well, because you would use, in accounting, you use a black pen to mark profits and a red pen to mark losses.
Oh my god, I learned something today.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could teach you and actually maybe the audience. Good fun fact.
Man, look at that. Fun fact podcast. Fun fact of Heck. Vestibule of Fun Fact.
So I would like to say real quick,
we've created like 5 new podcasts now.
Yeah.
So we got to get on that. That's going to be like a podcast every day upload
next
schedule.
2 weeks from now, week of the podcasts. Podcast every day.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you heard me.
No,
every weekday.
This is
5 days.
Every weekday,
Yeah.
5 days. We're gonna do
just once. We're gonna do 5. We're gonna do 4.
Firestorm.
We're gonna do 4 individual podcasts, right? Or just individual little audio recordings for our topics. We'll do one on disco, one on whatever. 4 of those, and then this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Mark it in your calendars. Here it comes. The content.
Time to clear my schedule because fucking editing the shit. God damn it.
Yeah, we'll just do it right now.
and now we have to do it.
No, we don't.
Because you
Nobody
said
cares. I'm kidding. You stupid idiots.
I think that's what we should. I think that's the going to be the definitive title of this episode. Nobody cares. And I think that's a pretty good note to go out on. Do you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
No,
Any
I think
plugs or anything?
Oh well, no, it's fine. I'll save it. We got a lot of podcasts to record.
Damn it! Shit. All right, that's been this has been Vestibule of Heck, episode 4. I'm Brendan.
I'm Mitchell.
I don't know why I had to think about that. Like, I know who I am.
Do you? Who are any of us, really?
Like, oh, fuck. Oh, boy. Oh, man. We could go on for another hour about literally who are we.
That's the other podcast. See everybody in the week of the podcasts.
The Vestibule of Why. All right, so have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night. Thanks.